battlefield of Stony Creek. It's 7:30 in the morning. Mr. Harvey decides to treat the whole troops. They're going to go to the Stony Creek area for an ice cream, but the troops didn't want to go and have ice cream that early in the morning, so they decided to retreat as well. They went back to Winston Road and Parkdale to the Bedrock Bistro and had breakfast there. Now I know what you're thinking, you probably don't get too much for breakfast for Toonie and Looney, but Harvey was smart. He waited till after the battle, and there was like 30 people killed on the British side and 55 on the American, so he could take the Toonie and Looney that he was going to spend on the people that died, and he could top up the people that lived and give them a little nicer breakfast. And that was pretty much it for the battle there. They just sort of waited out the summer, and then the British, or the Americans, left Fort Erie, and the British moved back in. Now the question that Alex asked me that started all this is, what would be the difference if the American had won the key battle?
1 second. Before all of this, перед тем, как мы все это решили делать, я спросил Кэма в разговоре, а что если бы американцы тогда победили?
Well, if the Americans had won, probably more people would be dressed like Charlie Sheen from 2.5 Men, like I am today. And the most important thing, and this is really vital for Hamilton, is that once countries are separate, even though the border is an imaginary line, countries like to have jobs for their own people, so they put on tariffs and duties on goods coming in from other countries. And that's what Canada did, and the American businesses were smart. They decided not to pay the duties, but to build branch plants up here. And other than our two major employers, Stelco and Dofasco, most of the business in Hamilton was branch plants of American companies. Just from my family's own personal perspective, when I was in school, my friend Dave Kish got me a job at the Firestone branch plant, which is at the end of Burlington Street in Kenilworth. I also worked a year term and task at the Procter & Gamble branch plant, which is at Burlington Street in Ottawa. My grandfather worked at Westinghouse branch plant, which is at Barton and Birch, basically. And his brother worked at International Harvester, which is on Burlington Street by Wellington. So there's all these businesses that wouldn't have been here if there wasn't this imaginary border, all these jobs we had, and it really helped our Hamilton area. And that's the story of Beaver Dams and how it helped Canada in the long run.
Кэм рассказал о присутствии американского бизнеса здесь, что большинство наших самых больших предприятий принадлежат американским компаниям сталеплавильной, изготовления стали, и упомянул тарифы, которые сейчас применяет мистер Трамп на нас, и мы на него. So, everything okay here. We enjoy our life in Hamilton.
Thank you for asking me about this. One of my favorite topics, and I enjoyed talking to you on the Immigrant Spectator.